We are here. It's Emily and Abigail from Think Creative Collective and Allison from Wonderlast. We're so happy to have you all here. We just started a poll. So as soon as you can see and hear us, we want you to answer that poll and then give us a big fat hello and let us know where you're tuning in from so we can be jealous of all the places that you get to hang out right now when we are all, three of us are in Kansas City having a grand old time. Mm-hmm. Allison, do you want to introduce your co-host?
Oh, yes. And this is Mr. Peep.
Hi.
He's my co-host as well, so he'll be helping me with the presentation.
Okay, guys. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sarah. We're so excited to hang out with you. We have a lot of energy because I think Abigail and I have not had the proper amount of sleep in the last 5 days. So we're kind of hyped up, just getting ready to hang out with you. And Allison is just Allison and her energy. It's insane and we love it.
I'm insane.
Austin, Texas, Denver, Colorado just left you. Nicolette, hey, thank you for hanging out with us. We're so excited to get
Sarah
to see you
from
in person.
England and Lee from Montreal.
Becca, thanks for joining.
Sabrina in Zurich, Switzerland.
Italy.
Oh, what? Okay, I've always wanted to go to Italy. That's on my bucket
True
list.
story.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh, yay. Okay, so answer the
People
poll.
are excited too.
Yes, we're super excited.
So it looks like all but one of you.
Yeah, one of you has
done
hosted a webinar.
Okay, so I'm going to end this. I'm going to ask you one more question, but
Yep.
Emily's going to chat
Okay,
about tech
so
stuff.
little bit of housekeeping real quick. When we switch over to slides, it's probably going to be blurry. You can send Google an email and complain about that for us because we don't have any control over that. Bandwidth is a real struggle, y'all. So if you have Skype running, Facebook running, Messenger, anything else in the background, do us a favor and shut that down. It will help your connection and it will help the fuzziness of the slides clear up faster, the sound be all good, and make sure our freezes don't freeze on weird faces.
Oh, yeah.
Because we make us some weird faces, so it's okay. But if you do happen to get kicked out or things get frozen, just hit refresh or exit out and come right back in and you'll pick up right where you left off in the live version. We are getting a replay out to every single one of you and we'll do it online also. So if you have to jet out early or if something happens on your end, don't worry, you're gonna get the link to that. But do stick around because we have, seriously, first time ever things being revealed at the end of this webinar. So y'all are gonna wanna stick around. If you have questions as they pop up, go ahead and pop them in the chat box. Sometimes it distracts us. So if we don't see it or if we don't address it, we're not ignoring you, but we get distracted really easily. But we're gonna mark it as a question and we spend a good 30 minutes at the end of our webinar answering every single question that pops up there. So ask it again if you don't feel like we saw it. We're not feeling like you're being naggy. Okay, so what other poll did we ask?
We asked about courses. So if you have a course, but you want more help with sales, then answer that. If you don't have a course, but you want to create one, we want to know about it. Or if you have no clue and you just want to earn some more money, then that's also a totally reasonable answer. So we will address today, which we're really, really excited about. But it looks like it's pretty split up. So most of you look like you want to create a course,
but you don't have one
yet.
So we're going to help you with all that good stuff. So are we ready to get started?
Yeah,
let's switch
do
to
it.
slides. Woo, woo!
Yes.
Yay. Okay, we're going to switch to slides. Like I said, give it a hot minute to clear up for you. And just listen, just pay attention, have a notebook, get a fresh cup of coffee, whatever it is that you need, but really be present with us today. Put your phone in the other room and just hang out because we're about to unload a ton of knowledge on you guys right now. And if you just listen and chill and take your own notes, you're going to be good. The slides are just extra, but they're not make it or break it for you, okay?
Yeah. Woohoo!
All right, guys, let's get started.
Okay.
So, baby cakes, every single one of you belongs here and we're happy to have you here. It doesn't matter whether you're just starting out and you've got your small business going and you've got your creative ideas going and you're like, oh, this whole passive income and courses and webinars, maybe that's where I want to be. And you have no clue what we're talking about. That's okay because we're going to load a lot of knowledge on you so you get to where you want to be. But maybe you've been at this a while and you kind of feel like your business needs a refresh, and maybe a course is what your audience has been asking for, or maybe a webinar is where you want to spend your energy and how you want to connect with your audience, and that's awesome, and we're going to give you the tools to do that also. Maybe you've just toyed around with the idea of hosting a webinar because you've been on some of ours or Allison's or any number of creative entrepreneurs on there who are teaching online, and you love it, and that's how you learn and you connect with your people there, right? And you kind of want to offer your audience the same thing. Or maybe you just are kind of addicted to our energy and our red lips, and you wanted to meet Allison, or you wanted to meet us, and you wanted to meet Mr. Peep. Either way, we're ready to hang out on our lunch break booty shake, and oh my God, we're so excited to get this.
You guys are in the right spot. If you have an idea for selling something online, but you're too scared to actually get started, we're going to give you the tools to get in the right mindset and get things flowing. Maybe you've cooked up some course content. Maybe you have some ideas, but you're just like stuck on how to sell the actual thing that you just created.
Like Sarah and Will, they say they're in the process of creating a course right now.
Which is so awesome. Maybe you're like really introverted, or you're shy, or
raise your hand.
Okay, so let's just talk about introverted. Just for real, because Emily and I are both outgoing, but people drain us like nobody's business. But webinars have been incredible for us because we get to get in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people multiple times a month, and we don't have to see all of you in the same room because that would stress us. So this is kind of amazing because I get to see all your names and I
digital
get to
hand raise.
Yes, absolutely. So
introverts unite.
It's fine. Maybe you just have heard the hype about what webinars can do for your business, and you're just not sure if it's the right move for you, but you want to know more and you want to investigate. Yes, we're gonna have. Oh, you're an introverted dancing performance teacher.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. Okay, so we know you got some excuses though.
Oh heck yeah, we do. Okay, but seriously, I know of your excuses. They know of your excuses. Why? Because we all make excuses. Like but I really hate talking in front of people. Like, like if you were in college and you did public speaking like me and you got like stomach knots and you wanted to just barf at the thought of having to talk in front of people. It was my least favorite class. Or, I don't have anything interesting to say, or no one's really gonna care about what I have to offer. I mean, we all have that like fear of like, well, no one's gonna like think it's interesting enough to even come. Why should they bother? Or does it really go with my business? Or, I'm no tech goddess. I don't know how to set this stuff up. Like, I don't know about the what microphone, what like pages, what embedding codes. Like, okay, nothing stresses me out more than hearing the word code. So that was like mine forever because like I am not tech savvy. Or like the other fear of like, oh my gosh, what if only one person shows up? Or what if no one shows up? Like, what if I hit that broadcast button and there's like no one in the chat box. Like, those are all real fears, and I know I've experienced them all, and I use those as reasons not to move forward for a long time. But I just eventually was like, you know what? No more.
Doing this. Helene, we know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I took the, there's all those like quizzes online that you can take to see if you're an introvert or an extrovert.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I really know, it's literally called an extroverted introvert. I taught everyone about it this weekend because it's weird. Like we like have the confidence to talk and we want to share, and like we'll talk to people and our friends and we'll talk a lot. Y'all know we like to talk a lot, but that introversion still kicks in when you like get exhausted by people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, the goal here is for you to create a business. Like, this is about business. This isn't just about sales, that fuels your soul and your pocketbook. And we want to get it all done with systems in place so that you feel like refreshed and like not stressed out, and that you can just do what you need to do to move your business forward. Like, and why we think we have to do this alone is stupid, for the record. We're all in the same room, you guys. We're all struggling with the same things, and we just want you to stay here and feel like you have a community of people that are trying to help you move your business forward.
Tyler, we're gonna have education for a full hour, and then we'll have Q&A for the last 30 minutes. Yes, INFJ, Abigail's, unite. We are connected. Same. Okay. All right, so what are we actually gonna walk away with today? What are you gonna be able to put into place today and start to change into your business, right? We're gonna give you the absolute easiest way, hands down, super easy, not complicated way to brainstorm course topics. Because we know you have a lot of ideas rolling around in that brain of yours. As creatives, we wanna make this, and we wanna make this, and we wanna make this. So we're gonna help you hone in on that and actually find a way to give valuable steps to your audience. You're also getting the exact method, step-by-step, to launching and promoting your first course. So no more worrying about how you're gonna get people to hear about it, how you're gonna get the word out there. No more fear of like having just your mom or your dog sign up for your webinar or buy your course. We're gonna help you get it out to all of your favorite people. You're gonna also hear why we think webinars are the absolute bomb diggity for actually making money online, and why it was the first thing we implemented in our business because we knew how valuable it could be. You're also gonna walk away with 8 different ways that you can make real dollar bills inside your webinar, half of which don't even require selling anything in your presentation. Holy bananas.
Guys, you cannot miss the end. We're gonna give you these strategies that will make courses, webinars, and business a breeze. Like what? That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
like I wanna hang out. And we're gonna give you the invitation to join the coolest biz club ever, and that includes all 3 of us. There's some awesome shit happening, and we can't wait to tell you all about it. There's also, okay, it says bonus. It should be like bonuses times a million, because I can't even wait to tell you all the things that are at the end. Like seriously, so freaking excited. Okay, yeah, let's have a dance party, guys. Okay, I'm Abigail Pumphrey, in case you haven't heard from me before. I am the co-founder, brand and business builder, flower enthusiast, and volunteer junkie here at Think Creative Collective. Emily is my beautiful cohort. We have to change her picture because she's getting LASIK on Thursday, and so those glasses will no longer make sense. She is my co-founder, brand and business builder, coffee chugger, and resident houseplant hoarder, and we are so excited to be doing this webinar today with Allison of Wonderlass. She is a creative entrepreneur, photographer, blogger, and yes, fellow Kansas City native.
Representing today.
You love her, and we are so excited y'all are here.
Yay. Okay, so a little bit more about us. This is me, and this is my beautiful family, and my absolute most favorite things to do. So we have my camera and my coffee, my husband and my mama. Somehow my puppies didn't make this slide, and I think we need to fix that. 2 rescue puppies at home, both of them Shih Tzus. Their names Edward and Toby, and I love them to pieces. But at the end of the day, I like styling things, making things pretty, and traveling and getting to see new cultures and try new food and try new things that I might not normally when I just want to sit on my couch and Netflix and binge, right? So my mama and I have kayaked in the mangroves of the Caribbeans. We have zip lined in the woods at wineries and just gotten on cruises and trips and seen amazingly beautiful things. That's my husband and I in Mexico on our honeymoon almost 5 years ago, 4 years this fall. I'm so excited. We're going back and I cannot wait. But at the end of the day, guys, I knew I wanted to do something creative. I wanted to do something that rewarded me with money, because that's what makes us get to do these awesome things. But I didn't want to be exhausted, and I wanted to have fun doing it, and I wanted to teach, but I didn't know, I couldn't get up in a room physically full of people and do that. So webinars has been hands down my absolute favorite way to bring my skills and my knowledge and my expertise to the table and get to hang out with you guys. And I cannot wait to share a little bit of that strategy with you today.
So I am Abigail, and my crazy life is colorful and beautiful, and I have 2 puppies in it. They're both rescue beagles. They are my lifeblood. I do not have children yet, so I have fur babies, and yes, my husband calls me mom.
Yes.
So that's totally acceptable. My beautiful, okay, I guess I should call him handsome. He's a man. But my
sexy husband.
My sexy husband is in the bottom left corner, and I love him to pieces. We have traveled the world together. I think we've checked off 17 countries at this point, and we get to live this life and lifestyle because we put in the work to build these passive income structures. And webinars are a huge, crucial part of that. But last year, let me tell you, I went into this thinking I knew webinars could be helpful, but I literally had no clue what I was doing. I had no one to help me with the process. And I literally announced to my entire audience, which was thousands at that point already, but I told them I was going to do this thing and I had them sign up for it. But I literally didn't know what system I was using, where they were going to show up to, how I was going to be on camera. And thank God I had met Emily like 2 weeks prior.
Literally.
The day we talked for the first time was the day I announced I was doing a webinar. And she saved my ass because I literally had no clue what I was doing. And she had thankfully done all of 2 webinars before we got together.
I was obviously the expert.
Obviously. So she saved my butt. We sold together on that first webinar, made thousands of dollars, and we were like,
holy bananas!
This is amazing! You can like get on the internet and talk to people all over the world. You guys are literally from all over the world. What did we saw? Switzerland, Italy,
Nashville.
Yeah, like everywhere. So that wouldn't be able to happen unless we did webinars. And they've been a crucial, huge, like ginormous piece of our business. And we've been able to sell to thousands of people and have all of these students in our content because this brings people together from all over the world.
Hannah from OKC, hey!
What's up? Okay, so Allison's going to give you a little bit more about her. And oh my God, let me just tell you, the first time Emily saw that cat photo, because I made the slides, Emily literally gasped and started crying because she thought it was so funny. And I was like, this is the perfect picture for this slide.
I just have to add that I have too been in tears of laughter over that photo. So yes, that's my cat, Mr. Purry. Some of you who may have come to my webinars before may have seen him having like a psychotic episode in the background. He's already had like 2 in the past hour. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I love color. I love cupcakes, coffee. I'm kind of like a child at heart, I guess you could say. I love Alice in Wonderland, which is kind of how my name Wonderlass was born. I literally bought an entire wardrobe from, I'm not even joking, the kids section in Target yesterday. Like, I discovered yesterday that I could fit into an XL in the girls section, so I bought a wardrobe from the kids section. So that's just me, and I love to take photos. I started off by starting my own photography business 6 years ago. I've been doing it full time ever since, loving it, fell in love with the business side, and became really passionate about helping other people start their businesses, because I was like, having my own business that I love, not dreading going to work today, is like the coolest thing ever. And so I began like just trying to help other people. And last year I kept seeing people do webinars, and I was like, like people that I like love to watch and people in my industry were doing them. And I was like, well, you know, that's cool for them. Like, there's no way I would do one, but I'll go to theirs and it'll be cool. And I kept going to them, and I was like, they're really fun to go to, and no, I'm not going to try one. And so I kept hearing about how great they were for all these reasons, like their stupid email list, because I was like sick of hearing about, I was so sick of hearing about like email list building and all of that. But I was like, you know, I can't just not try one. I've heard how amazing they are. I have to at least try one to like, then I can officially be like, all right, I hate it, never again. But that didn't happen. I did my first one. I forced myself. I thought I was going to puke the night before. And then the second I hit the live broadcast, I like fell in love with it. I had so much fun. It was awesome to interact with everybody. And I sold over $2,000 worth of my course just in that first, like just in the live broadcast. And I wasn't even going to sell anything. So like that was just me like panically like fumbling through a quick like, oh yeah, I'm buying my course. Like I didn't even want to sell at that point. So needless to say, I too fell in love with them. I was like, okay, they're so fun, amazing, and they were great for making money if that's what you want to do. And most of us need to make money. So that's why I'm here. All right.
Yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. Okay. So in case you guys are not aware of why webinars are the bomb diggity for making sales, they are amazing for so many reasons. So for starters, your I can never say this word, authenticity goes through the roof, you guys. So when people can actually, it's really important when you're selling things online for people to actually be able to connect with you. And when they are seeing you and they're hearing your voice and like seeing your personality, it just helps build a connection. And that's really important if you want to develop relationships with people who will actually want to buy from you. You also become known as an expert in your industry. So I always see people like, oh, well, how do I look like an expert and how do I build authority? Well, webinars are great for that because it's kind of like when you're blogging, that's going to build some authority if you're putting out really good quality content. But putting on a live broadcast just takes it to a whole new level because you're interacting live, answering questions, and it's just like, They're also really good for building, like trust. So again, like when people get to know you on your webinar, they're gonna start to trust you more. They're gonna connect with you more. I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna buy from someone online if I don't trust them, especially online. So that's a huge factor. And they're high energy and high reward, you guys. So you can do like, the thing about webinars is like they create like energy and the sense of urgency. So you can do all sorts of things in them to get people to be like taking action. So like bonuses and bundles and all of that cool stuff. And not to mention, your audience gets one-on-one time with you. I don't know why that's
has this amazing thing of going in and out of her accent where like 3 words out of a sentence will be an accent and the rest won't. So
I forgot to put in my disclaimer. I talk it off and on. It's totally normal for me. Just go with it. But it is true because a lot of people, they have reservations and we all work hard for our money. We don't want to just like throw it away on something that may not work or that we don't really trust is going to help us. And so when you do a webinar, you can actually be present and show people and explain to people and ease their concerns and answer their questions. And it's really effective rather than just like throwing out some link online and be like, all right, here's my thing, go buy it, bye. So yeah, that is why they're absolutely amazing.
So you can use webinars for the most successful course launch ever. Like these things will skyrocket your potential, and I can't wait to give you the formula. Okay, so these things are gonna blow up your list. We're talking doubling it. We're talking tripling it, quadrupling it. The first, I think 4 or 5 months we did it, we were able to double our list every time we did a webinar. And if you guys don't know anything about your list, crucially important to the livelihood of your business, and it's going to help you sell more and more. And the bigger your audience is, the more potential people you have to sell to. So growing that list is awesome. And even if it's starting with webinars that aren't even selling anything, even if you're just trying to get in front of people, they can grow your list like crazy town. They're also going to let your audience get to know you on a really personal level where they get to feel like they could be your friend, or they like relate to Allison's crazy cat lady or a Mr. P. Or maybe they just love, our red lipstick and want to jam that every day. You get to know us on a more personal level, and your audience is craving that connection with you. And so if you can give that to them in a really true and authentic way, like why would you not do that?
Because this isn't the polished version of Instagram that we see over and over again, right? This is the real deal. You see our face, you see our energy, you see us flub and mix up words. And I talk too fast and people tell me to slow down, and that's just part of it. But you get to connect with your audience and who you're listening to on such a close level. It's amazing.
Plus, you get to find out if what you think is going to work will work. You can sell things before you've even created them. And if it goes wah wah, you haven't wasted any time because you did it on a webinar. Okay? Like this is talking about time saving, more money making, because we want you to make the money, honey. Okay? Yeah, let's do it.
So first things first, baby cakes. You guys need to be in the right mindset so you can have the confidence to actually put stuff out there, get on a webinar, and press record, right? That's where it all starts. And I want to encourage you. I want to tell you, like, just for 2 seconds, how I got into the webinar game. I was seeing people much larger than me, people who I looked up to, people whose lists were bananas and who were making a shit ton of money, and I wanted a piece of that pie. I knew, hands down, I could not go to networking events. I could not cold call people. I could not email strangers I'd never spoken to try to sell or to try to build my audience or to try to gauge if my idea was worth putting out there. I knew my personality style could not do that. So I went out to my Instagram list that had less than 500 people. My email list had less than 100 people. And I said, I'm doing a webinar and I'm selling a course. Sign up for the webinar to learn XYZ. I was teaching pricing for photographers at the time, sales process and all that good stuff. I did not make a single piece of my course before I had this webinar. I taught, and I taught well on that webinar. And then I said, cool, I'm going to make this course. I'm going to drip it out to you. In 1 week, you're going to get module 1. So they weren't even getting stuff right away. Here's where I want you to go buy it. I made bank on that webinar. It was insane. So I want you to know that even if you're not ready, even if your course isn't polished, even if you haven't made it, that getting out there and doing it is going to be the best confidence booster to keep moving forward and do more. Because at the end of the day, webinars are the exact opposite of standing on a stage naked. Although you could be half naked on a webinar, because there have been webinars where I've looked business on top and pajama pants on the bottom. So don't you get
or my face snuggie.
Or your zebra snuggie. However makes you feel comfortable and whatever's going to help your confidence in that setting where you're talking to your computer, you get to set the stage for that. I want you to reassess how you're thinking about webinars and instead think of them as the opportunity to hang out with your best friends online, geeking out about the stuff that you're super passionate about versus thinking them as scary, salesy live broadcasts, right? Today, you do have your best friends in the room. The people who are coming to your webinars care about what you're putting down. They want to learn from you and they know you're providing value and they're going to get to hang out with you and they'll love you even more. If you're super shy, just pretend like you're talking straight to your camera, which, I mean, you technically are. Like you're talking to your dog or your best friend. Or I know, especially as all of these introverts hanging around here, all of you Myers-Briggs people who have known your personality test, I know that you're walking around your house talking to your houseplants or the window or your TV or the lamp about the stuff that you want to be teaching online. And that's the exact same feeling that you're going to get sitting in your comfy chair behind your computer talking to your people online. We want you to focus on providing a ton of value, whether or not you're selling. At the end of the day, if you focus on give, 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 your audience is going to reward you for that. They're going to come back for more. They're going to purchase from you. They're going to sign up for things if you are focusing on providing value. And of course, you have to just practice, practice, practice. Our first webinars are nothing compared to the webinars that we have now because we've gotten to do it more. And just like with anything else, the more that you do it, the better you're going to get. But at the end of the day, I really encourage you to just give yourself grace about this. You're probably going to mess up once. You're probably going to say the sentence backwards or the word that you didn't mean to say, or like Abigail who's accidentally dropped some F-bombs on some webinars.
Whoops.
But you just keep
sorry,
moving
not sorry.
forward. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. But if you are authentically yourself at the end of the day every single time and giving yourself that freedom to straight up be yourself, broken accents and all, the audience is going to love you more for that, okay?
Yes.
So what are the 3 amigos that we use here at Think Creative Collective to make all the magic happen? We are not saying you have to absolutely go out and enroll in all of these programs, but I will tell you that Webinar Jam and Lead Pages were the first purchases I made for my business before I hosted a webinar, before I made a course, before I grew my list. And when I had that very first webinar and sold in that very first webinar, I made the money back to pay for those programs. In one day, in one webinar, I made the money back to pay for those programs. And exponentially, they have paid for themselves over and over again in the ease, in the simplicity, and in just how pretty they are and how great they work for our audience in getting people to register, sign up, and get notified about our webinars.
All right, and so like you can literally just DIY webinars pretty much. Like if you don't even want to start off with Webinar Jam, like you can literally go Google Hangouts, which is totally free. So literally just Google Hangouts on Air. It'll take you there for free. You need a microphone, and technically I'm not even using it. Like I have a nice fancy microphone. I'm not even using it. I'm using my built-in microphone on my computer. Headphones, which are what, like 20, not even 20, like $12 from Target, and then a built-in camera on your computer. So literally everything I just listed is free except for headphones, which I'm not even wearing right now.
Unless you don't have a computer, which you obviously do.
You need a computer.
Oh yeah, and you need it's true. You can't just like talk to the wall, like draw on the wall and be like, can anybody hear
We're
me?
not that sophisticated yet in our technology.
Yeah.
No holograms here yet.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, but it's what
You guys, it's not hard to get started. You really have to just hone in on a couple of things. We're going to go over each piece of the puzzle first. So the topic is by far the most important. And this works for both your course, if you're going to go the course route, or if you're going to go with another product, or whatever it is that you're doing, you want to pick one piece of the bigger puzzle. So if you're talking about, talking about webinars and you want to teach people how to do them, you're going to only teach them a piece of the puzzle in the webinar, but then you're going to sell them a course that has all of the instructions. Or if you're going to teach someone how to use Instagram, you're going to give them just a piece of the puzzle inside of the webinar, and then you're going to teach the rest, because it's all about enticing people.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about teaching them just enough so they're like, oh, if they gave away this much information for free, I can only imagine what I'm going to learn inside the actual course.
Well, I mean, come on, if we had a whole course in a webinar, you guys would get pretty bored, because that would last for like days on end. If we
That'd
were
be overwhelming, really overwhelming.
And it would be super overwhelming.
Yeah.
So you're really doing your audience a favor by just giving them a piece of that puzzle. It's not about holding anything back. It's not about keeping stuff secret, but it's about giving your audience enough where they could move forward that day. But if they want the in-depth strategy and the hand-holding that you can provide them, then they can enroll in whatever it is you're offering.
And you can also focus on the before. So give them the stepping stone they need to go on to whatever it is. So like if you're teaching someone how to do calligraphy with a calligraphy pen, maybe in your webinar you talk about how to do calligraphy with a Sharpie, because that's something you might need to practice with before you move on. And if you think I'm joking, I talked to Alex at Prairie Letter Shop like literally yesterday, and she was talking about that being the before. So think about whatever your topic is and what is something they need to know to get them to the point where they're ready to learn what you have to say.
Yeah. What's the pre-qualification? What were the questions you were asking yourself 3 months ago or 6 months ago? And start there.
Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that are behind where you're at in your business, regardless if you're like day 20 or 10 years into your business. There are people who are still needing to learn what you know, and so being able to give them a piece of that puzzle. And for some of you, you're not necessarily teaching B2B, you're teaching B to consumer, and so your consumers like know diddly squat about what you do. And so you got to show them that you are like the most legit person. But you can expand upon stuff that you already have created. Like this doesn't have to be rocket science. If you wrote a blog post about it, do a webinar about the same thing. Think about what you knew 3 months ago or 6 months ago or last year, and what was that thing that got you to the next level that made you start thinking about, oh, like now I can do this inside my craft or my business. And it really just helped you move forward. Think about how you can teach that to your audience in a new and fun and different way. And it doesn't have to be boring. Yes, we have words on a slide, but if I'm boring you, then I'm sorry, you need to go away, because we're not going to
just go.
Please go now. If I'm not boring you, then this might just work for you, okay? So keep on listening.
Just keep on listening, because choosing a title, right? You can't just put on a webinar without a title. Like, you gotta slap a title on it. So when it comes to choosing a title for your webinar or for your course, there's a few things that you kind of want to keep in mind. Now, first of all, don't freak out. Like, it's not going to probably make or break your course, but it is important. You play the number game. So, like, numbers are always a good idea. Like, for webinars, even courses, people love steps. People love specific things, like actionable things. People love to know, like, amount of time, like set amounts of time. So, like, like for a webinar, it's like how to do X in blank steps, or 5 days to do blank. And it's like, numbers are good. You also want to think about keeping it short and simple. So you don't want to just drag out your title. People need to know what they're going to learn either in your course or your webinar right from the title. Like, your title should tell them what it's about. So like when you signed up for this webinar, you were pretty specific. It's like, webinars for Wallflowers, and then I can't even remember, how to build, launch, and sell your first course with a webinar. So we told you in the title exactly what you were going to be learning, right? So that's why you signed up for it. So you do really want to, keep it short, but very specific, always incorporating those steps, those actionable steps. And you always want to focus on results and takeaways, because people don't want to get, time is one of my biggest pet peeves, is wasted time. Like, I cannot stand wasting time. And so I want to know, when I'm signing up for a course or for a webinar, I want to know what my takeaways are. Like, why the Sam Hill should I come to this webinar or sign up for this course? What am I going to get out of it? So I want to know immediately what I'm going to get out of it. So think about that. That's very, very important when you're coming up with a title or like a sub-headline.
Yeah. Or even bullet points. Like, if you're trying to come up with what you're going to teach them, don't focus on what they're going to quote learn, because people don't want to hear about what they're going to quote learn, because then it reminds them of school and all of the days that they want to scratch their eyeballs out. Okay. So you're going to tell them what they're going to take away. What are they going to be able to do? What are they going to be able to accomplish? And focus on results rather than what would your teacher say in the 5th grade, okay? We're trying to make it sexy and marketable.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy and marketable.
So when are you actually going to have your webinar? This is one of the biggest questions we get from our audience, and that we see in the industry, of what day is better, what time is better. At the end of the day, let it all go. Take a deep breath. None of them will make or break you. You are going to have a webinar on one day, on one time, and you're going to get results from that. If you want to tweak that and change the day or the time or the audience that you're trying to reach, then you will have results from that one. Then you can compare the two. It is different for every industry, for every person, for every audience. At the end of the day, if you know your audience well, like, let me give you an example. Our audience, like you guys, a lot of you have a full-time job still, and you're working on your creative hustle part-time or on the side, after hours, right? So we know that when you come home and it's after 5 or 9 p.m. or midnight, you're busy hustling on your business. You're actually doing steps to make it better and grow. You don't want to be wasting that time listening to someone else. But a lot of you passionately, and seriously, this gives me goosebumps every time I think about it, spend your lunch break with us. So your day, you're getting on your phone, on your iPad, whatever, maybe your work computer, I won't tell, and you have your headphones plugged in and you're learning. So it doesn't matter, but know your audience. Know when they're going to have that free hour to hour and a half to spend with you. And if it's Sunday at 8 p.m., that might be when it is. But I also encourage you, if as a business person, you do not want to be working at Sunday at 8 p.m., you do not have to. There are replays that you can pass out. You can send them the link to watch. You can let it expire, whatever, however you want to treat that. But just because your audience is free at 3 a.m. on a Saturday does not mean you have to be there at 3 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yes.
And guys, this does not have to be complicated. I promise you, it is way simpler than it sounds. I know webinars are like, there's got to be all this tech stuff, and there's got to be all these things going on behind the scenes, and I just don't know how they do it all, and you start like overanalyzing everything. But it doesn't have to be complicated. You're going to have a place for them to register. You're going to thank them and confirm that they registered in an email, and then you're going to remind them to show up, and that's it. It's not complicated. You have to have a way to get them to sign up. Perhaps they're already on your list, you just remind them. Maybe they're not on your list and you want to get them to sign up, you can talk about it on social media and send them to a registration page. All of those things are just little pieces of the puzzle, but they're just a few things. And for some of these, the first time you do it, say you end up with Webinar Jam, the thank yous and confirmation and reminders are built in. We have changed those because, we like to add our own little design and language to them and make them a little sexier. But you don't have to. Out of the box, if you can just give them a place to sign up, Webinar Jam has a registration page built right in. So if you're not ready for lead pages, if you're not ready to invest in something else, that's fine. I know when I did it the first time, I was thinking I was going to use Google Hangout. And so I literally just told people to sign up for a list. I didn't even know what it was going to be yet. I'm not suggesting you do that, but I'm saying you can figure out how to get people to register before you have all the pieces in place. But it doesn't have to be rocket science. and we're going to give you all of the tools you need to get started.
So actually planning your presentation. So we've been on webinars that are 20, 30 minutes long. I've watched a webinar, not for the full length, but there have been some that are over 8 hours long.
What?
It's
Me too, and I almost
It
died.
was like a health conference. Like he was teaching all about like hormones and fertility, and like that's a whole other story. But knowing your audience and what they are going to want. So again, really digging deep and where is your audience spending their time? What questions do they have for you? What do they want to learn from you? And being a huge giver and not a taker. So at the end of the day, knowing that you're providing value to your audience, and if you're going to ask them to purchase something or enroll in something else, that's just an added bonus for you and for the growth of your business. If you are always constantly asking yourself, am I providing value? And am I establishing myself as the expert in whatever it is that I do? And if you're checking those things off, then you're doing great. So Tyler, these are going to answer a lot of the questions that you've been asking inside the chat box about, okay, but if people are already on your list and they're going to sign up for the webinar, then they're already on your list. So how do you get new people? So one of the best ways to grow your email list is to have a webinar. Why? Because webinars are amazing, because you learn a lot from webinars, because it's high energy, high reward. They're going to give a lot of value to you. So new people, if you're reaching new people, they are going to sign up for that webinar. And the way that you sign up for the webinar is by giving your email. So if you begin teasing your webinar about 7 to 12 days in advance, again, this is super flexible. If you start teasing your webinar 6 months in advance, that might work for you. If it's gonna be like this mega, huge, awesome webinar, that's fine too. But at minimum 7 days. Here's the other piece of that puzzle is even if you've forgotten and you decide to do a last minute webinar, like I know Allison at the end of this webinar is going to prep for a last minute webinar that she's having next week. If you have like only 3 or 4 days, that's fine too, because here's what works. People do not necessarily know if they're gonna be free for an hour or an hour and a half during the time of your webinar. Sometimes they don't know if they're gonna be available until the day of your webinar or the day before your webinar. So even if you've got like 2 or 3 days out, you might get a little less people, but that's okay, because those last minute signups are our biggest surge for people like, okay, yes, I can dedicate an hour and a half on that Wednesday and I can be there. You're gonna get a lot of signups right when you start to promote it, then it's gonna kind of die off, and then you're gonna get a big flux of signups right before your webinar actually starts. So how do we actually do this? Creating graphics, blog posts, shareables, and images that are branded to your webinar. So when you guys sign up, you guys know our process. Our lead page is branded towards Wonderlass and Think Creative Collective, since it's a joint webinar. We send it out to both of our email lists to let you guys know how you could sign up. We wrote a blog, well, we didn't write a blog post about this one,
you could.
But you could. You can make a graphic with the name of this blog post and maybe even teach a little bit in that blog post and entice people to learn more in what you're gonna offer inside your webinar. Pin the crap out of that and you're gonna get some signups. Ask friends who are in the industry to share about your webinar. Ask the people who just signed up for your webinar to share it. That's what we guys did for you. We made beautiful images in your second email that automatically went out. We asked you, hey, please invite your biz buddies to this. We know that not everyone heard about this and we would love you to share it. Just forward this email, share this graphic on Instagram or Twitter so other people can hear about it. And that alone is gonna get the word out and you're gonna get brand new people on your list. If you can pre-schedule and automate as much of that process, you are going to love life a lot more.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why we use ConvertKit, because it's super easy to automate that process. It's triggered automatically when you sign up for that list. You're going to get the confirmation email on immediately. The next day, you're going to get the please share email. We're going to stop that sequence today because we're done promoting the webinar, and then we're going to send you the replay. If you can automate inside Buffer or Latergram all your social media posts on Twitter and in your Facebook group, that's just gonna free up some time. And so you don't forget, because sometimes when you're middle of promoting something, you're like, oh shit, I haven't even mentioned my webinar today. So if you have that stuff set up beforehand, it's gonna make your life a lot easier. Don't forget to email the people you already have on your list. So we know it's all about getting brand new people and building that list greater and greater, but don't forget about the people who are already hanging out with you, because probably they would like to hear what you're going to offer inside your webinar. So we like to email our audience first and let them know, kind of like VIPs. If you're already on our email list, you're going to get the chance to sign up for this awesome thing first, and then we're going to promote it. Again, asking every single person that signs up to share it for you is a really easy and authentic way to get that word out, and announce it in other Facebook groups. So even if you don't have your own, if you're in other business Facebook groups that has like a promotion day where you can actually share links, then that would be an appropriate place for you to tell people about your webinar and why they should sign up for it, and giving them the link to do so.
Oh, heck yeah. But let's talk about 8 ways to make more moolah. So I always joke about calling money moolah, but sometimes I secretly wonder if people ever get confused and they're like, what is moolah? Hopefully it's apparent. I'm talking about money. So webinars can be, they're great for a million reasons, as we've been babbling about, for connecting, for building your email list and all of that stuff. But let's face it, like, it's kind of nice to make some money off of them because we all want to run our business, right? We need to pay for food and all the basics. So I was in awe when I started doing webinar. Okay, rewind, Allison. People, I'm getting so excited. I'm fast forwarding in my mind. But okay, so before I did webinar, I was really scared of them because I was like, what if I don't want to sell something during the presentation? I was like, just the thought of it was making like my face get flushed, and I was getting flustered and all of that. And I discovered that, yeah, of course you can make sales during your webinar and you can sell something during your webinar, but there are a lot of ways you can make money with your webinar without even selling anything. So I am going to talk about 8 different ways you can do that. So obviously, number 1, super obvious, you can sell something during the live event. So if you do make a course, for example, this is perfect because, let me just share a quick story. So I have launched a couple courses, and one of the first courses I did, I was really excited about. It was one of my first paid courses, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna put out this amazing course, it's awesome. I was so excited about it, and I broadcasted it out unto my audience, and I was like, go check it out, here's the link. And then it was like crickets, and I was like, oh, like I didn't really do anything to launch it. I just like sent the link out and was like, I thought people would buy it at the time. And then I was like, oh, okay, well. And then when I mentioned it in my first webinar, like I just kind of glazed over it because I was so like, unconfident at the time, because I was like, didn't know how to sell without being like, oh, I'm feeling like I was going to be like this sleazy salesman. So I just was like, oh yeah, my course. But I made over 2,000 with that. So you can sell something during a live event, even if you're scared, even if you think you can't, you totally can. You can also make sales after your webinar. So a lot of times people will need time to think, like, again, we all don't have just like, well, most of us anyway, don't just have like hundreds of thousands of dollars to just throw at everything that seems nice. We need time to think about it. So a lot of times you're gonna get people purchasing after the webinar. So that's why you send them a replay link with the email. And if you're offering something during your webinar, that's when you're gonna make a lot of your sales. But let's talk about the ways where you don't have to have, let's say you don't have a course. You have jack squat to sell. So if you do a webinar, you want to be providing a ton of value, because you don't want people to feel gypped and like they just wasted their time. But if you put on this like kick-ass webinar where you are giving away a ton of value, you can totally just package it up, add some bells and whistles. You can add some bells and whistles, and you can sell that baby for like $50 or whatever, but you can sell your webinar recordings for however much, $29, $50, $75, I don't know, however in depth it is, but you can sell it. You can also bundle your webinars. So this is a really great idea. Once you're starting to get like a nice stockpile of webinars, if you have some webinars on a particular topic that's related, you can bundle them together and kind of pull them together as a mini course. And that's passive income, you guys. So you recorded that webinar. Once you do a webinar, you don't want to just have it collecting dust. You need to be using it for getting email subscribers or making money. So those are 2 really good ways to do passive income. Speaking of bundling, you can also bundle them with other people's things. So like think about people in your industry, like whatever industry you're in, who's doing webinars? Can you bundle your webinar with one of their webinars? Create this awesome epic bundle of like 5 different people's webinars and put it together in this juicy package for people to buy. Again, that's passive income. You can also do like a webinar vault. I love the idea of a vault where people can like subscribe, and they have access to all your webinar recordings. So you can house all your webinar recordings on your website in this password protected page, and then people can pay at like a set monthly fee, I don't know, like $7.99, whatever you think. And then they can just watch all your webinars. So every time you do a webinar, you put it in that vault. So people always have access to all your trainings. And I think that's really, really cool. And again, it's passive income. It doesn't require any extra work. And then another great thing you can do with your webinars is you can use them for bonuses. So, oh my gosh. So you might feel like you need to add bonuses to things, but the great thing about doing webinars is you can use your webinar recordings as a bonus. So for example, let's say you are creating that amazing course. You can use webinars that you've recorded, assuming it's like related or complementary, as a bonus onto that course. Or like if you do a webinar and you're selling something, you can use a past webinar as a fax action bonus. So there's like a ton of options with that. And then of course you can make more passive income by using webinars as mini sales funnels. And this is one of my favorite ways to do it. I basically will post my webinar recordings on my blog, but people have to opt on to my email list in order to watch them. They're free replays, but people opt on to my email list, and I get a ton of subscribers this way. And then once they opt on, I email them the link and the password to watch the webinar, and then that webinar has my, I hate the word pitch, by the way, it's just bleh. Okay, but it has me mentioning my course at the end, right? And then underneath, there's like a button where they can check out my course. So that webinar where I sold a lot of things is now working for me when I'm not doing it anymore. So people are watching it and getting info on my course, and there's a link to my course. And I sell courses that way a lot, and I'm not doing anything. So those are just a few examples of how they are amazing, how you can use them and not have to like come up with new content all the time. Repurpose, you guys, like repurpose.
Absolutely. So guys, we want to keep in mind the goals. We want to go after a business and a lifestyle that you love, and you want to attract all the people. You want to attract all your ideal clients in every single way, because webinars can do this for you. We want you to make some money, and we're not just talking a living wage. We want you to be able to put in those marble countertops you've been thinking about, go on vacation, make money on the beach. I did this a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. And we know you can do it because you are capable and you are worth it. So quit telling yourself you can't do this thing, because we are going to give you the tools so that you can, and so that you feel confident, and so that you have the right mindset to go into this believing that you are the best person to be doing this.
Because you are.
You are. And you're here because you want to know your audience in a whole new way, and you're ready to make some money while you're at it. You want to jumpstart your email list. Maybe you have a small list. Maybe you only have 20 people, but you want to get to 200 by the end of the year. Well, guess what? You might get to 200 by a month from now by doing a webinar. And it's just so much fun because you can offer something new to the people that you already love and you hang out with. Maybe you have an idea for a course and you're not sure if you should make it because you're not sure if people will buy it. You can pre-sell your stuff on a webinar, and if nobody buys it, you're not going to cry into a puddle of water because you already spent hours and hours on this thing, because maybe you didn't even make it yet. You can pre-sell it, which is so awesome. You also maybe just hate being real life networking, and you feel like you meet all the wrong people because they're all like 50 and just want to eat donuts and drink coffee.
I want to just eat donuts.
I know. Okay. Bad example. All right. But we're not talking about the Chamber of Commerce, okay? We're talking about getting to know the coolest people from all over the world that want to know you and they think you're awesome. Like, how cool is that? Like, people want to show up and tell you you're cool. Like, okay.
So if there's only one takeaway from all the stuff that we just unloaded on you, know that we have got the coolest strategy to build your small business, grow your audience, and make you some freaking money. And good story for you, we've bundled it all together. So Allison's amazingness with our super coolness all in one neat package. So you do not have to spend your nights Googling stuff to try to figure out how to set up a webinar and what to say on a webinar and what to call it and how to grow my business and how to grow my email list and how to connect these things and how to promote it on social media. All of those things are bundled, like, and seriously, a shit ton more are bundled in one beautiful package just for you, because at the end of the day, we are working on creating a life and a business that you absolutely love. So what can you actually do to get started right this very second? Oh my gosh, you guys, if you've heard of Biz Chick Co-op, if you've heard of Webinars for Introverts, you are in the right place. These two beautiful programs have gotten together and hung out, and now they're BFFs, and they're offered in one giant bundle just for you. Inside all of that, you are going to find everything you need. We just posted up the direct link inside the chat box, so you can click it and go there now, but we're going to give you some more information to learn all about it and why you need to get your hands on it.
So how does this actually work? You enroll, you sign in, and you get everything, and that's so amazing because there's so much cool stuff inside. I'm so excited. Okay, so you get
things.
worksheets, videos, ebooks, mini courses, slides, swag files, templates, tech trainings. Like, I could go on. There's so much inside. I don't want to overwhelm you with all the awesomeness, but just know that you're going to have everything you need to not only help you and like boost your business and get you in the right mindset and get all your stuff going, but then we're going to give you all the things you need so that you can do webinars like a rock star. We're going to give you lifetime access so that you get this stuff forever. So if you aren't ready to get started now, you can get back to it whenever you are. And as we tweak and add new content, you're going to get all of it. And that's awesome.
So let me give you a little bit of insight of why you need Biz Chick Co-op, and then going into Webinars for Introverts, because Webinars for Introverts is going to be released in August, but we're laying the foundation first because we care about your success very, very, very much. We're obsessed with it. So we know that there are some things that you probably need to build the foundation first, okay? Because we know a lot of you just got sweaty palms thinking about establishing your email list, reaching out to your social media, or like what social media following, right? Or maybe you're scared about writing a blog post to promote for your webinar. We get it. So listen up right now, okay? Seriously, give me your ears. Here's what's happening today. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Biz Chick, which is our most popular program, but in case you haven't, the Biz Chick Co-op is the hands down coolest club for small business owners who need help building the foundation of their business. Biz Chick Co-op will take you from 0 to a bajillion. Like, seriously. Biz Chick will be the tool you'll rely on to help you up level and grow, which is all necessary if you're going to host a webinar and sell a course, right? If you're sitting here thinking, well, all this webinar stuff sounds great, but I have less than 30 people on my list. It's just my best friend following me on Instagram, and I have absolutely no clue how to get more people up in that business, then you need this bundle. We've never, ever, ever in the history of ever offered Biz Chick Co-op as a bundle before, so you're getting in on this for the very first time. You're like the elite pioneers of the entrepreneur world, right? We want to give you the tools to grow your small business through foundational work that will make your business sustainable and profitable. So we're not about making the next big thing that's going to die off and you're going to get sick of it. We are about making a sustainable business here, right? Then we want to give you the keys to the one thing that has grown our business the fastest, which is webinars. We know you've probably heard from everyone and their mother that webinars are the bee's knees, but no one actually walks through how to get into the mindset to rock one, how to set up the tech, like literally all the tech details, and how to actually launch your webinar and your course. So Webinars for Introverts is the key to that. This is seriously one powerhouse of a bundle, guys.
Yes, and I am like ridiculously excited because I have been working on this for months, and I keep telling people it's hilarious because, like I said, this time last year I was horrified. I mean, horrified at the idea of doing a webinar, and now they're like seriously my favorite. Seriously, like I love blogging. I've been doing that for 10 years, but webinars, there's just nothing like being able to just hang out with the people who actually want to hear about what you have to say. And as an introvert, it's perfect because it was funny because at first I was like, you know, I don't think it's good for introverts. But now I'm like, it's perfect because I am in my living room alone with my Snuggie on my bottom half. I'm not even wearing, you know, oh no, I'm wearing pants. Yeah.
She had to check if she had pants on.
But my point is that I'm able to connect with people and I'm able to run my business from my computer, but I'm still connecting with people. So I've been working on this for months, and it's literally like, yeah, it's the tech, of course, like how tech tutorials on how to set everything up and all of that, but it's also about like mindset and how to be awesome on camera. A lot of people don't realize that I'm technically an introvert. I was super, super shy. I ate my lunch in high school in my car because I was too afraid to go to the cafeteria. So there are things that I've had to work through in order to like get comfortable on camera, in order to like get up my confidence and have to like, you know, just deliver a fun presentation. So it's all about how to get into the right mindset, how to just, you know, kick ass, be yourself, have fun, all the tech stuff, how to build and promote a webinar. So obviously I want you to like make money from your webinar. So how to create a presentation that's effective, how to come up with awesome promo graphics, how to promote to your email list, how to promote to your social media, how to optimize your site to get signups. Because I have optimized my website and I get a ton of signups from people who aren't even on my email list. I have them all over my site and I've optimized it for that. I go over how to make money with them afterwards, how to do it. So basically it's just like everything you ever need ever for webinars, including like templates, swipe files, like tons of bonuses. There's a workshop on, you know, just lots of goodies. If you want to do a webinar, this is going to be everything you need, essentially.
Okay, guys, do you really need more convincing?
Yes.
Because does that not feel like enough shit already? Because I got more shit to throw at you if you need to hear about it. So I'm going to tell you all about it. Get ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Oh my God, you're going to get a free month of Teachable. Woo! Which is,
It's awesome.
this is the platform that Allison and us, we use to sell all of our courses. It makes it look fancy. It makes it
easy.
It's easy to build. You don't even have to have a website. Like guys,
No.
if you don't even have a website, you can sell stuff on Teachable.
What?
You can even blog on Teachable. Which is
That's okay. I didn't even know that. You can blog on Teachable.
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Website, which is crazy. So we're going to give you a free month so you can get started and you can start building your course. Like if you wanted to start this afternoon,
You can do that.
we could totally make that happen for you.
Best
And you're
feeling.
going to get 30 days to try it completely for free. And that could be up to a $299 value if you are like the shit. But if you want the professional plan, no big deal. But we're saving you some money so you can get all organized and then sell. Are you ready? There's more.
Oh, heck yeah, there is.
You're gonna get a private group.
So you get a private group with me who's totally crazy. No, but but no, there's a private group of support. So if you have questions, if you want feedback, tips, support, whatever it is, you're not alone. You need help, we're there. We like to hang out and be all crazy together, you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. And it's not done.
What else are they getting?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes, that's me. I'm so excited. No. No, so like my course as well, it's really about a strong foundation. So like Biz Chick Co-op is about a strong foundation. There's even foundation homework in my course. So like before you even start learning how to like be awesome on camera and plan your webinar, you get very honed in on like your niche, your purpose, your people, because that's like the foundation of everything. There's checklists, there's cheat sheets, there's templates for promo graphics and pretty much everything you need, even email templates to like give you a blueprint of how to like, you know, be effective in your emails and literally everything you need to make your life easier and how to incorporate webinars into your launch. So if you're making that course, I did a whole workshop, it's over an hour, and it shows you how to incorporate your webinars to have a successful launch. Because like I said, it made a huge difference for me, like crickets versus no crickets.
Awesome. Well, how do you get started?
Yeah, so head to that bit.ly. We're going to post it up again so you have the direct link. It's Ready, Set Webinars, case sensitive. Click on the red button in the center that says Enroll in Course. Once you click on that, you're going to see this screen, and it's super easy. If you already have a Teachable account, meaning you have a course with us or someone else.
No, only with us.
Only with us, sorry. If you bought something from us, like Trello or whatever else we offer, there's a ton of stuff in there, then just sign in. If you're brand new, just make your account. Put in your name, email address, password, and save this in a good spot because it's going to be what you use to sign in to access all your content. then you're just gonna pop in your credit card information and hit enroll in course, and that is literally it. You are good to go.
All the stuff's inside.
Oh my gosh, what else?
Oh my gosh, because we
Stop
didn't
talking about it.
you're gonna get the number one way to
If you sign up during this webinar right now, this is what
you're gonna get the number one way to build your list ebook, and it's pretty phenomenal.
Yep.
So we're pretty excited for you. It's time to make this all a bit easier. So if you learn on video best or you learn with words best, we're gonna get you covered because you're gonna get all of this stuff inside
this
the
mega
course.
bundle. Yep.
And it's ready for you for a one-time payment of $397. And
That's bananas.
Like
BizChick on its own is $247, y'all.
And her course is going to be $397. Okay.
Yeah.
And Typical is between $99 and $299. And then let's just go on and say all those bonuses. I can't even tell you.
Like
We're talking about thousands of dollars worth of opportunity here, and you only have to pay once.
So if you've thought at all whatsoever that webinars might be good for your business and that you want to bundle up your knowledge in a program or a course for your audience, then you seriously need to get your hands on this.
And if you're thinking about making course content and you're going to sell something on a webinar, I would be willing to bet that you could make that all back
hands down,
your first webinar.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, we are all living proof of that.
Y'all.
This is coming from someone who was like about to die before my webinar because I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown, but it's not bad when you're focusing on value to give people.
Okay, so let's answer some questions, yeah?
Yeah, so Ashley said, what's the website for Teachable? Or is that something you made? I can't find the website. Okay, so Teachable is a platform. We did not make it. It's a different company. It's a startup company. I think they just had their second birthday. They're legit. It's basically a platform for you to build out your course inside of someone else's magicness.
Yeah, so you can make your sales page, you can upload videos, PDFs, text, literally anything you want for your course module by module.
But you don't need to know any code.
Correct.
You don't need to know how to build a website.
Drag
You don't need to know how to build a course. Like, it's all set for you. This gives people a way to pay. This gives people a way to have private login opportunities. Which it's a lot harder to do when you're trying to like fumble through it all by yourself. So the website you need to get it for free is inside of the course.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just go to Teachable right now, we can't set you up for that 30 days free.
Right. Okay.
So what else?
Helen wants to know the difference between a shareable and a promo graphic.
Oh, okay. They're basically the same. They're really whatever you want them to be. We offer our audience a couple different options. We craft them for Square because we want y'all to share it on Instagram. We make them super pretty. You can take a picture of flat lay, flowers, literally whatever, kind of branded to the color scheme of whatever you're making. You can have words on it. You can not have words on it. People like different things. We like to offer our audience one without words and one with words, so they can post whatever their preference is.
Yeah. Helen's also worried that she's not in business. So what about that?
Yeah, so I think that's totally fine because I was literally in quote business for like 2 weeks before I had my first webinar. And by that I mean I had like a landing page and one blog post up. I had some like freelance clients, but they were wrapping up. But I had no like business in the sense of being an online educator and like having an audience online whatsoever. They hands down that first webinar set the foundation for what our business is today. So by having that, you never know where it's going to take you, and that could very well shape the scope of what your business could become.
Yeah, absolutely. So Will's a little bit concerned about his internet connection, and
dang internet.
And I know that can be hard, especially if you're in other parts of the world. That can be a tough situation. But find people that can help you. Like, I know people who've done webinars from other people's houses. You might be able to look at your local library situation. A lot of times they'll have like a private room that you can rent for $0, and it'll have a computer, or you can bring your own and connect to their Wi-Fi connection. There's also, I mean, you can do it in a coffee shop if you're comfortable with that. So Bella asked about when does the 30 days begin? It begins whenever you press play on the 30 days. So if you don't want to start your 30 days until next week, that's totally fine.
Yeah, pre-planning for that week, and then you can start when you're ready.
Exactly. Let's see what else. Yeah. So Lauren also mentioned that you could potentially record your training offline and then post the video. You can totally do basically what Allison was saying, where you would sign up and the content's already ready. So on demand type of webinars. Which is pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
I can't stress enough the power of live webinars, where the conversation and communication you can have with your audience is not only valuable to them, but it helps you answer a lot of questions that your audience is asking. So that can very well shape how you make your course or what your next webinar topic is.
Yes, it's great. That is great. Yeah, I have to say, like, that is one of the best ways that I came up with content for the course that Webinars for Introverts. Like, I did a webinar on webinars, and all these questions and concerns that people came up with, and so I was able to make sure that I could build something that was truly helpful to people because I knew that they were asking questions about it. It's great to come up with your course content.
So if you partner with another company person and you bundle both of your products together, how do both parties get paid? Do you recommend any software or programs? Okay, well, if you want to know about what's going on behind the scenes, I guess I can tell you. But basically, that with Teachable, you can set up affiliate partnerships so that it's all kind of done in the background, and so afterwards we both just get a report of who bought what, and then you give the other person some money, and then you might have to 1099 them at the end of the year if they make over $600. But it's pretty simple, and
If you're using Teachable, they pay out to affiliates, right?
if you have under a certain threshold, that is true. Yes. If you start making too much money, then you start having to process it yourself.
Yeah.
But that is not a bad problem to have.
Right.
So.
But Teachable makes it really easy either way at the end of the day, and that's just a conversation you need to have with your JV or business partner to kind of set that financial scope beforehand.
Okay. Am I missing stuff? I'm sure I'm missing stuff. Do you see any, Allison, you want to take a stab at?
Are all the questions in red only? Because I'm
No. If they're
somewhere,
we marked some of them. If they're not red, that doesn't mean they're not a question.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
okay. So I was gonna say, did we? My brain is so much mush today. Did we answer Tyler's why does a webinar grow your list when the attendees are already on your list? Did we answer that during the webinar? Kind of
A little bit.
So I want to address that when people sign up for your webinar, if you're using Webinar Jam, there's a button you can click to automatically link them to your whatever email service provider you have. Even if you don't, you can export that list and import it into your email service provider. Since we use lead pages, we have ConvertKit automatically signed up for that. So it doesn't matter what you're offering. If it's sign up for this webinar, download this PDF, enroll in this course, whatever it is. If someone has to put in their email, usually whatever system you're using is going to connect with your email service provider, and you get that email on your list as well.
Yeah, which basically answers Sabrina's question of how do you add those attendees to your email list. I mean, you basically import them if it's on a separate system.
Ours is automatic, but you can export and import very easily.
But like another thing is though, like you will get people not already on your email list coming to your webinar because, like, for example, you can do like on the thank you page when someone registers and it gives you the thank you page, it'll have, you could put like a sharing option. So you always, you know, you're going to get viral sharing sometimes, people sharing things on social media. And like I said, like I get a lot of people who are not on my email list sign up for my webinars by how I optimize my website for signups. So like you are going to get signups. And of course, if you do like a joint venture webinar and you partner up with people, you're going to, you know, be speaking in front of new people. So there's a lot of ways you get people on your email list with webinars other than just the people who are already on there to come. That makes sense.
Yeah. Allison, I think you could be a better answer for this. If you use Google Hangouts for a live webinar, is there a chat box option if they want?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't think there's a chat box option with Google Hangouts, but there is a free chat. So I always have a chat box underneath my webinars. It's totally free. It's Chat Tango. So if you just go to chattango.com, it's ChatAngo, chattango.com, you can actually embed a live chat box. It's totally free underneath your video. So you literally just can grab an embed code, kind of like in the same way that you would grab like a video embed code on YouTube or something for sharing on your page. So you can literally embed a live chat underneath your video, and then it saves it. So like I can go back and look at all the chats from my previous webinars and scroll through, and I can still have access to all the comments. So you can totally do chat for free with Google Hangouts, which is also free.
Awesome. And if you use Google, how do you set up an email sign up? Do you need ConvertKit or something like that? You need a place to sign up. So, I mean, you can use ConvertKit for sure. If you're like literally just starting out, I would maybe look at MailChimp. You can have up to, I think it's 2,000 subscribers before it costs money. So you could make a little sign up page on MailChimp and then send people there. And then once they're on that list, you could send the reminder emails with where to find the Google Hangout link. And yeah, so for the snazzy. But all of that tech stuff that you're worried about, which I know you're worried about,
because I was really worried about it.
Allison goes over all of it inside of the course. So
step by step, we're talking hand holding, like hand holding.
Yes. What else? It doesn't necessarily have to be about the course, but if you have questions about webinars or questions about business, we are here for you. So feel free to chime in. We'll stick around for a couple more minutes as you have questions.
I have questions. Trying to find some questions.
Awesome. I'm scrolling through. Corey, what kind of microphones do you guys use?
Well, I use 2 microphones, switch back and forth. Well, obviously right now, as I said, I'm not even using a microphone, so you don't technically have to use one. However, depending on the quality of your built-in microphone on your computer, you don't want it to sound really garbled. So if it's really bad, I would suggest getting a microphone. So I use like this, there's the Rode Smart Lab. It's this little clip-on. It's like $75 on Amazon, so it's pretty cheap. Especially if you just want to do the bare bones webinar setup and do like Google Hangouts for free. Like investing $75 to get going is not bad at all. And then I also use the Blue Yeti mic, and that's like $123 on Amazon. So 2 options, different price ranges. That's what I use.
So Josie, we kind of mentioned how to promote your webinar outside of your blog and email list. So if you are interested in watching the replay, we go over that pretty in depth, but essentially we promote it on all of our social media channels. We ask other people to share for us, including people who sign up. We also send emails out to influencers occasionally and ask them to share. It's really up to you. You can do it any way. If you have more of a local audience, you might put something on a bulletin board in a coffee shop. Like your way of promoting is your way of promoting. So what works for us may not work for you, and it depends on your audience. Janine says she's super self-conscious about her appearance. You don't have to be on camera, girlfriend. If you wear slides the entire time, you don't have to do that. The reason we do show our faces for like the first minute and a half is to make sure you guys know we're not robots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They exist.
Yeah, I cannot stress the importance of putting a human connection to your brand. So if you can do whatever you need to do to feel dressed up and nice and presentable, then just get on camera for 1 minute, 60 seconds, you guys, just to show up for your audience and be there in person so they know that you're there. If you can get through that, then you can turn the camera off for the entire rest of your presentation if you want to.
Deborah mentioned she already bought Allison's webinar for introverts and she wants to do the bundle instead. I would suggest you email Allison and we'll make sure you get taken care of. But basically, the additional things you get in the course, you want to talk about BizChick for a minute?
Yeah, so every question you have about growing your email list or how to build your social media following or how to write a blog post about it, all of those foundational tools to actually grow your business so you can worry about having a bigger audience and teaching your, being there for your audience outside of webinars is what BizChick does for you. We're all about goal setting, actionable steps to get stuff done in your business. So the foundational work that's there and that we go back to every single month to reassess our business and make sure we're on the right track, that's all what BizChick is about. So I definitely think that for a lot of you who might need some clarity on your small business, BizChick would be a really, really good fit for you.
And if you happen to already be in BizChick and you're super interested in this bundle, but you're like, but I already bought BizChick, how can I make this work? We can swap BizChick out for one of our other programs. We have a phenomenal one about pricing, which I think would be a really great option.
Yes.
We also have a phenomenal one about Instagram and selling and making money from your social media. So if you want to swap it out, go ahead and purchase this now from the link. And we will do the swap out after the fact. So go ahead and purchase and then send us an email and then let us know which other program you would like. Money Making Creative, Snap Style and Sell.
Are all both great.
Yeah.
Great options.
Okay.
And that's what I would do for mine too, Deborah, to answer your question. So like if you're already in my course, I have 2 other courses that are awesome. So if you want the bundle as well, you could do kind of what they just said. I could swap it out. Yeah, you could swap it out for one of my other courses, like I have From Side Hustle to Success and Wave. So if you wanted to swap, you could totally do that.
Yeah, so maybe just go ahead and check out now and we will get you taken care of. Yeah, so Abigail, I think we answered your question. You're already in BizChick. We would love to have you in Money Making Creative, Snap Style and Sell. If you happen to be a calligrapher, maybe that's an option for you. We have another course specifically for those people, but we'd love to get you in somewhere else. What do you use to create slides?
I use Keynote.
Yeah, she used Keynote. You can use PowerPoint. You can use Google Slides. I use InDesign and just make a PDF. You could make a Word doc and then make that into a PDF. It can be really whatever. Bella Dancer, I'm sure that's not your actual name, but whatever your real name is, you can begin your Teachable 30 days whenever you want. The link to sign up is in the course. So it will start ticking away when you sign up. But you also can't start building the course until you have done that. So keep that in mind. I mean, you can do some of that offline and do some planning, but once you're ready to like put the meat and potatoes in there, you're going to have to sign up.
Yep. Actually, we're at Think Creative Collective and at Wonderlass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm a product creator and don't know how this would work for webinars. When I talk about how to make something, you absolutely could, Sarah. Tell us more about what your product specifically is, and we'd be happy to give you super actionable advice.
Totally.
But asking yourself, what are your customers asking you? What questions do they come to you for? What are frequently asked questions that maybe you have filled out on your site or that you're just always answering? And what is some way that you can teach or showcase those answers via an online webinar would provide a lot of value.
Yes.
Woo woo.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like webinars are really good for educating people because like, again, like for courses, for instance, one of the reasons why they're so good for like launching courses or putting out, if you're trying to sell something, is because you might know that your thing that you're launching is amazing, but nobody, you know, a lot of other people don't, or they don't know why they need it or what the hell it is or whatever. So like webinars are a great way to provide a lot of, not only just free value so people can see like, oh, okay, she actually like puts out free stuff that's amazing and that builds trust, but it's like educating them, you know, why, and so then when you do release something that you've created, people are like, oh yeah, like I actually know why this is awesome now.
Awesome. Oh, so she does crochet items and she's starting to write patterns. Yeah, I think you could totally have a webinar about people who want to get into crochet and are like totally freaked out because honestly, most people cannot read patterns.
No.
If they don't know how to do crochet. So like you could literally live on air. You don't even need slides. You could teach people how to crochet on the internet, which would be cool. I would legit go to that.
Yeah, I would too. Do it.
I mean, I'm in that age when all these people are having babies, and I'm like, man, if I could crochet you a little blanket, I would, but I have no idea how to do that.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so you could totally do that, and I would love to see that. And I think, and then you could sell a bundle of patterns at the end. You could sell access to the beginning video. I mean, honestly, just selling the webinar itself could be really, really awesome for you. And then throwing in a couple patterns as a bonus. So you could even pre-sell it. You could sell access to the webinar before you do it. All of the things.
All the things. Awesome. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll be here for just about another minute. Loom hats, blankets, and skirt. That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
We are, approaching winter soon. We're gonna at least I say this and it's still July. I'm getting it.
We are approaching winter soon.
No, it's definitely July outside. It's a little bit toasty.
It's like 100 degrees here. Maybe not quite that bad.
Yeah, so jump in now. It's bit.ly/ready-set-webinars. I'm going to pop up the link again really quick. And we can't wait to see all you beautiful faces inside. Okay? All right. Thank you all for coming. We love you. We're excited. And we can't wait for you to start rocking webinars online.
Yay.
Heck yeah.
Bye.